everybody! So remember how back in July I was all like, oh, one book July, that's not a challenge for me because I only use one book. Yeah, 2016 is not going to be like that. So I wanted to show you why and kind of what I'm working with now, what my system, such as it is, has evolved to. Yeah, so let's go through it because I have a lot. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 books going now. Yeah, good times. Okay, so first one is the one that you've seen before. This is my faux dory. This is from the Foxy Fix on Etsy, and now they also have their own website, but I think on the website they only sell the personal size. This is the standard regular extra room, actually, Midori style notebook. So this one, I mean, I'll just take you through it real quick because you've seen it. So I've got this folder in here. It's been upgraded to have sort of a pencil board. It's not very much of a pencil board, but it's a little bit of a surface, and it gives a grid on one side and lines on the other side, which is good for in here, which is my notes and lists book, and this is on Tomoe River paper. And I keep this in here because I tend to write things down that I want to keep, like lists. I make lists of, you know, orders that I've made or books that I want to read, and I had a list book before, but it was huge, and this is just a nice, and this is one of the things you can get in my Etsy shop. It's just 40-page notebook in Tomoe River paper, so very, very slim. It barely takes up any room, which is really nice if you like a lighter notebook. And then in here I've just got some stickers and a little aluminum ruler. So that's that. And then I have a new writing notebook. So this is volume 6. And I started it just today. So this has, right now, all it's got in it is the story map for the book that I'm about to, well, that I'm working on technically, but I haven't written in weeks because I need to fill the well for a while instead of having output. And then I'm moving for 2016 into a dated Midori planner. So this is not one of the refills that I designed. This is a standard Midori, but it's got the dated pages. So for example, here's Christmas week. So I like the cream color. I'm kind of gravitating back to having a full page for lists. And, you know, so that's what I'm working in now. And then I've just got some stickers and stuff back here. A couple of Malang sticky notes. Oh, and the sticker sticky note thing that was in the folder on the front, I moved to the back just because it's a little bit easier. It doesn't get as much traffic back here. I was finding that with a lot of traffic, some of my stuff was kind of shifting, especially these would fall off. So that's what's in there. And in that this book, this insert is really a working document. It's to-do list, a little bit of how I'm feeling that day, and then, you know, working lists of stuff. So it's not really a journal. It's not really a planner that's meant to be pretty. I mean, I add elements of things that are kind of pretty, but never, you know, it's not a designed piece. It's not a curated piece. So the other, let's see, as far as planning goes, the other stuff I'm working in is I moved my YouTube planning into this dated monthly Midori Traveler's Notebook. I just have a thing about pre-dated notebooks. I was really feeling, and I think I really wanted these because it's been so difficult to find them before this year, the dated ones, and this year for some reason I was able to, and it was because I know more what I'm looking for this year, but I found these and I was like, oh my god, the dated ones, I have to have them. So I'm doing my YouTube and social planning in the orange monthly one. And then the other planning piece I have is Hobonichi Weeks, and I don't have a cover for this, but this is being used for meal planning. So every week I will write down, and I just started this a couple weeks ago, but just, you know, what we're eating, what the grocery list was for the week. I'm gonna start writing down the weekly grocery bills in here too, just so I can kind of keep track of the grocery bills, and I make notes based on, you know, which ones we really like, what kind of meals we can go back to. And then, so that's pretty much the planning aspect. So on to, let's do journaling. So one thing, well, here's kind of, all right, so what I would like to do is I have another set of the dated Midori notebooks, and this is actually, I did an Instax, a screen print, and then printed a picture by the Daily Row on Instagram because I'm just so inspired by her pages, and I'd like to try doing something like that. So kind of a journaling within a calendar, but that is really going to be a highlight, highlights, curated, made to look pretty. That will be the primary purpose. Something to go back, something that I'm willing to share, as memory keeping kind of a thing. But I also know that, and I don't know if this is true for a lot of you too, but if I'm not able to journal and just dump my guts out onto the page, I get very depressed. I struggle with depression anyway, but if I can journal, if I can let it spill out onto the page, that tends to manage it most of the time. If I'm working in just something that's designed to be a curated experience that I'm willing to share with others, that is not going to capture the full thing. So in addition to the pretty version of my life, and this is what Instagrammers do a lot of the time, the people who get paid to be on Instagram and you don't realize it, they show you the pretty version of their lives. The other thing that I need to have for myself is basically a bitch book where I can just complain and whine and, be a horrible person. And this is for my eyes only. So what I'm doing it in now, I bought a Little Prince, and this is a moleskin. This is a special edition moleskin of the Little Prince. So this is the baobab tree and the little fox in his house in the hill. And so this is a day per page, so I'll be able to sort of do a little bit of daily journaling on each page and just, bitch my heart out, pardon my language. But I needed something in the interim because this starts on January 1st, so I made this little personal-sized book. And I'm not going to show you what's in it because, again, it's really, really personal and not the version of things that I'm going to share. So, if I ever have kids or grandkids, they'll only be seeing what's in here. This stuff they do not get their hands on. So that is kind of what's going to happen in the journaling world. And then the other two things I'm working on that I've got special notebooks for are, one of them is vocabulary and one of them is a creative project. So I'll do the vocabulary one first because it's little. This is a Hobonichi notebook, a little bitty one that's designed to go with the weeks, but this is words I didn't know. And I'm reading a book right now called Moonwise by Greer Gilman, and it's a beautiful, beautiful story, but reading it is kind of like studying because you have to pay attention to every single word or you're going to miss details that end up being really important. This is the second time that I'm reading it thoroughly. I attempted to read it a couple of times through high school and college and I just wasn't ready. But she uses a lot of words that I don't know, that I actually have to look up. So I'm just filling up this book, and it's very rare for me to not know words because I've been a reader all my life. I've always been really good with language and vocabulary, so to have this many words that I didn't know, but it's not words, these aren't words that you use in everyday conversation, like faxicle and cromlech and lolling and brow and chiasmic and entelechy. Tumbrel, Corbel, Shawm. I knew what a crumhorn was, kind of. And a lot of these, some I have a sense of what they are because I'm good with Latin and Greek roots, but I didn't know, for sure. Like a rantipole, didn't know what that was. There are a lot of French words in here, a lot of ancient Scottish words, archaic stuff in here. So I am learning so much by writing down these words and looking them up as I read. It helps me create a better image of what I'm reading, and it's a really cool story. So if you love to read for detail especially, I would highly recommend that, and I'll put a link below to whatever I can find on it, although I think it's out of print now, so you'd probably have to eBay it. Eventually, whatever other books that I read that have words I don't know, I will add them here as well. So that's one sort of self-enrichment project I'm doing, and then the other project is happening in my original actual Midori Traveler's Notebook. And this is, you guys may have seen this on my Instagram if you follow me there. This is for my Oracle deck. So I've got notes on the deck, card meanings and stuff, and then I've got a sketchbook back here for working out some of the images that I'm going to do. I've got some of the early paintings that I did sort of as card models and an early version of the cards and their meanings. So that's kind of going on in here. And so I want to keep this separate from the other stuff because it's really its own thing and it doesn't need to come with me all the time. If I have an idea while I'm on the go, I can put it in the notes and lists book, big deal. But yeah, so that is my array. And it is quite an array, but this is what I'm working with in 2016 and in the last days of 2015. So I would love to know what you guys are doing for your journals and creative projects and, you know, keeping whatever else it is that you need to keep. I feel like this system will work pretty well for me. This book I only go into once a week. This one maybe once or twice a week. This one is every day for this. This one I haven't started yet because the dated insert doesn't start until Monday. So by the time you see this, I will have started it yesterday, but I'm filming on Friday. So this has yet to begin, but by the time you see it, I'll have just started. This is an ongoing thing. And if I need to, I can always pop this in my bag. It's not heavy. And then this obviously is my daily writing, my daily calendar. So yeah, I know I said this already, but I would love to know what you're doing with your journals and your system in 2016. And I am actually going to take a couple of weeks off. Just because my brother's coming home for the holidays. It's going to get very busy. I have a huge family, lots of parties. It's going to be a little bit nuts. So I'm going to take that personal time to just enjoy the holiday, not worry about producing videos once a week. And I will be back, I think the second or third week of January. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, warm holiday season. And I will see you again soon. Bye.